We're burning bridges today. We're burning bridges. We're not going to be friends anymore after today. I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed of some of you. I'm so annoyed of some of you. The long weekend. Stand up, man. Stand the fuck up. You guys are being pathetic. Stand up. Let's lock in. Time to stand up and get in a defensive stance. You know what? I don't think you guys are ready enough. We're resetting. Are we doing better? Slightly, you're on D-line. Is one hand on the ground pre-snap? Great question. No, I feel like I'm one of these. No hands on the ground. One of those situations. One of those situations. All right, there's actually so much to talk about today. So much. Come on, baby. Come on. It's their year. I did go to Tech. Fight, Raiders, fight. Fight, Raiders, fight. Fight for the school we love so dearly. We'll hit them high. We'll hit them low. We'll push the ball across the goal. Tech, fight, fight. Come on, baby. This is March. Okay. Horrible first guess. Horrible first guess. Give me a taste of it. Give me a taste of it. Mmm. Is waspy a word? Oh my God, it is. Base. Well, this is a weird word, huh? Oh, that's really not it. Wait, what? Come on now. We had a tiny slip up the first time we played this game, and now we've figured it out. Yep. Bitch, I'm a monster. Said Jay-Z on the song Monster by Kanye West on the album My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. This was before he was a raging neo-Nazi. This was when, presumably before he was a Nazi and made good music. Fiber, strand, every fiber of my being, strand, thread, string. All right, those are all together. Submit, boom, get those out the way. Yeah. Maroon. Whoops. Okay. Let's try to figure this out. Monster, Ben Folds, abandon, understraint, spontaneity, maroon. Okay. Pickup, dump, abandon, garbage. One away. Dump, abandon, garbage. I'm missing something there. Jackson, MC, Maroon, Ben Folds. Okay. Band minus the number 5. That's a good one. That's a good one. What am I missing here? We know it's garbage, dump, abandon, unrestrained. That doesn't sound right at all. What am I missing here? Garbage, abandon, dump. What the fuck am I missing? Pickup, garbage, dump. Truck, monster truck, garbage truck, pickup truck, dump truck. All right. What are these? I don't know what these are. Okay. Good start. Good start to our day. Now it's time to have a bad start to our day. Where do we even begin, really? This is going to be a very Mavs-centric episode. In fact, it might be a Mavs-only episode, if I'm being honest with you. Let's start here, though, because I feel like we have to start every single stream like this. Every single one. Let me start recording my audio, and then we'll get into it, because I have one very important thing to say. And again, I'm going to spend every single stream from here until the end of the season, starting every single stream this exact way until proven otherwise. Good morning, folks. It is Monday, March 17th, 2025, 10:43 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is slightly early, the greatest show on television, not yet on television. Think about that for a second. I'll let it marinate. We want to start here, and I just said this on the stream before I hit record on this button here. You guys start every single stream exactly like this, and that's this. Phoenix Suns, you are an embarrassment to the NBA. You are an embarrassing team. I saw a comment on one of my YouTube streams. I was like, calling me a hypocrite because I poo-poo the people and I'm annoyed of the people who constantly shit on the league. And then they said I was a hypocrite because I called teams like the Phoenix Suns dog shit. No. I have to tell you, I care so much about the league. I think the league's in such a great place, and that's why the Phoenix Suns are an embarrassment to me, right? The other people, such as Shaq and other people in the media, like to shit on the league constantly and say that the league is bad. The league is tremendous, which is why teams like the Phoenix Suns are bad for the NBA. They are pathetic and they are embarrassing, and I want to start every single stream from here on out going over how sad and pathetic they are. So the Phoenix Suns, 1-2 in the last 3 games. Despite the fact that I thought they really needed to win some games over this stretch. Don't look competitive whatsoever. They are a pathetic basketball team. They are terrible. They are horrible. They're horrendous to watch. How does a team have such little synergy? I do not understand it whatsoever. How does a team with Devin Booker, Kevin Durant look so lethargic offensively? I can tell you why. They don't give a shit. They're not bought in whatsoever. If they tell you otherwise, they are lying. They do not try on defense. Their effort level's not there consistently. It's pathetic to watch. They have completely and totally quit on the season, which is a damn shame because the opportunity for them just to make the play-in and just be a postseason team is right in front of them. Right in front of them. And they have this crazy 10-game stretch coming up. And truth be told, they might go 0-10 in it. I don't know. I can't. Where are you going to pencil in a win for them during this 10-game stretch? Cavs, Bucks, Celtics, Timberwolves, Houston, which they got blown out by. I mean, Houston just throttled them. This score was not as close as it indicates here. Milwaukee, Boston, Knicks, Warriors, Thunder. I don't see a single win there. Honest to God, I don't see a single win. What a terrible team. What a terrible organization. And they should be ashamed. They should absolutely be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves. So anyways, just starting there with the Phoenix Suns, who the Lakers beat yesterday. Just horrible. Hopefully we can forfeit and not accidentally beat the Nets. No, I mean, it doesn't really, I'm telling you, it really doesn't matter. I was saying if the Suns do not overtake the Mavs during this 5-game stretch that they had, I pointed it out. Houston, Kings, Los Angeles Lakers without LeBron, Toronto, Chicago. If they don't pass the Mavericks during that stretch, they're not going to. So sadly, the Mavs are heading for that same trajectory. The Mavs at least try hard. Like, I was watching the Mavs game yesterday, rooting for a tank, which I am. Watching it, I'm like, man, this team's just, they're going to win too many games. Like they are. They're going to win too many games. You think Budenholzer's a big reason for the Suns stinking, or is it just a roster construction? I'll continue to say this. If everywhere you go smells like shit, it's time to check the bottom of your shoe. This will be the 4th head coach in 4 years for the Phoenix Suns once they inevitably fire Budenholzer in the summer. 4th head coach in 4 years. It's time to check the bottom of your shoe. 2 of the coaches you fired are NBA champions, and Frank Vogel and Mike Budenholzer. The other one went to an NBA championship, and Monty Williams. If everywhere you go smells like shit, horrible. And by the way, guys, I'm out on KD. I do not want him on the Mavericks. I only really wanted him because it was like a fuck it. You might as well just go for it. I still think the Mavs are going to try. I'm out. I don't want a piece of it. I really don't. And I don't even know if it's his fault necessarily. I'm just looking at the track record now at this point. And I really don't know if it's him. I can't say it's his fault. He's good. You're so in on KD a couple weeks ago. I was in on the idea that you've already sold your future. You're already going all in. Why not? If he's cheap enough, like picks wise, right? You're going to have to gut your And this was also me just assuming the Suns would overtake the Mavs in the play-in race because I just felt like obviously they're going to. My Lord, man. My Lord. How would you react if KD did end up in Dallas? Oh, I talked myself into it about 1 second. I would talk myself into it in 1 second. Without a doubt. Classic self-gaslight. Oh, yeah. Very classic. Okay, let's get into the Mavs. So, not really going to talk about the game yesterday. Slightly Rockets fan here. Love the content, bro. Sub now, sub forever. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that. Luka making Jackson Hayes look like a demon. Yeah, Jackson Hayes has been tremendous. Really has. Luka definitely obviously elevates him like he does every center. But Jackson Hayes had been trending in that direction even before the trade. But yeah, Luka, if you're a rim running center who can catch a lob, your life is going to be so much easier with Luka Doncic as your point guard. That goes without being said. The Mavs lose to the Sixers yesterday. Whatever. The Quentin Grimes stuff we can get into. That trade and the fallout of it. I don't know. The fact that his agent wanted a trade just changes that entire conversation for me. Where to the point it's like, whatever. What are you going to do? Why did you give up a pick in that trade? That's what it goes back to. This pick stuff. I really don't get it. It dates back a while when the Mavs traded Kristaps Porzingis to the Wizards and brought back Spencer Dinwiddie, who wasn't a good contract at the time around the league. His value was incredibly low. And Davis Bertans, who most people said had the worst non-max contract in the league at the time. How on earth are you also sending out a second-round pick in that trade? That never made sense to me at the time, that the Mavericks were adding a pick to that deal. Somehow you trade the best player in the trade, you're getting two not great shit contracts in return, and you're also giving up a second-round pick. That never made sense to me. You gave up a second-round pick in the Luka trade. How the fuck does that happen, man? Like, actually, genuinely. How the hell did that happen? And then you obviously gave up a second-round pick in this Caleb Martin-Quentin Grimes trade, even after Caleb Martin failed his physical. To be fair, Celtics got 2 firsts to take KP contract. That's true, but they also got first for Marcus Smart. That was part of it. The Grizzlies really wanted Marcus Smart, which that obviously didn't work out. But, yeah. Here we go. Let's dive into, where do we want to start here? There's so much to talk about for the Mavs, shockingly. We have the AD news. It sounds like he's coming back soon, which is interesting. We have Dirk Nowitzki news, which sucks, which makes me feel sad. And we have fallout from this game. Let's start with this game, right? Tyler with the $4.99. Katie, Luka, you know you aren't getting that open in the playoffs. Luka, y'all even going to make the playoffs? Also, PJ game looks full brown nose. Okay, let's start with PJ. This is where I was getting angry earlier today. I'm going to be real with you. So PJ Washington, there was Fire Nico chants. There was a video going around of the from our guy MVP Luka. The folk hero, the voice of the people, a video of him yelling free throws or yelling Fire Nico during Mavericks free throws.
Fire Nico!
And then PJ telling him to sit his ass down. So that happened. Our guy MVP Luka, if you're not aware, he's been at this for a long time, man. He's sort of trained for this moment. He is sort of trained for this moment, right? He's been very vocal following the trade. He's been leading a lot of Fire Nico chants. And if you hear a Fire Nico chant the game, it's a very good chance it was him. But also, he was doing Fire Kid chants for the longest time, Fire Cupid chants for the longest time. He's been preparing for this moment. Everything has led him to here, right? Everything has led him to here. And PJ, after the game, had this to say. And I retweeted this just because I thought it was an interesting talking point, right? I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I just retweeted it because I thought it was interesting. PJ Washington on fans chanting fire Nico while shooting his free throws. At the end of the day, the trades happen. We understand we have a new team now. All that fire Nico stuff, we're sick and tired of hearing it. We just want to go out there and play, and we need the fans to support us no matter who's on the floor. That's just how I feel about it. So this got people worked up. Look, here's the reality of the situation at hand. What do you want the players to say? Anyone who's mad at PJ Washington over this, please. And by the way, I think from what I've seen on Twitter, I do think MVP Luka hasn't like shit on PJ or anything like that. Like, so I want to be very clear that I'm not talking about him when I'm saying this. I'm talking about some of the replies to this tweet where it's just like, what do you expect PJ to say, man? You know, what do you expect PJ to say? Like, he's a player for the team. He was traded here, right? It's not like he signed a contract here. He was traded here himself. They got to go out here and play. They're probably annoyed. Like, this happened with Najee Marshall a week ago when Najee Marshall went golfing and people under his tweets were like, oh, you're on vacation? Nico's going to trade you now. And Najee was like, yo, can y'all shut the fuck up? Like, what do you expect the players to say? You know what I mean? Of course they're going to be annoyed by all of this shit. Like, of course. Of course PJ's not going to like it when a fan screams fire Nico in the middle of his free throws. You know? Like, of course. The chants are not aimed at the players, though. I know, and they know that as well. But that doesn't mean they're not going to be annoyed by it. Can the fan base be annoyed the shit product losing to 76ers and just boo instead? Well, look, here's the reality, and here's the reality. If you want to protest the team, the best way to do it is to not go to the games. I understand a lot of people who are going to the games right now have had tickets, have bought these tickets for a long time. Some of them are season ticket holders who could not cancel their season tickets or get a refund on their season tickets. Like, I get that. But the best way to protest is to not go to the games. And I think next year is going to be very interesting. Very interesting. I think at the start of the season, the seats will be full. Right? The seats will be full. But if we're in December, January, and the Mavs are struggling, yeah, that stadium's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see how empty the stadium is. Really interesting. Pussy Liquor with the 199. What do we do to deserve this as fans? I don't know, man. So maybe look at your name and think, maybe is there some sort of retribution I'm facing for my username being this potentially? It's possible. It is. So anyways, I saw PJ, people mad about this, you know. It's just not a great situation. I hate to see PJ and Najee being soft like this. Like, oh my God. Come on, man. Like, what do you expect the players to say? You expect the players to be like, hey, guys, I just want to say, like, I'm sure he was asked about this, by the way. Like, I'm sure PJ didn't just openly start talking about this. I'm sure somebody asked him. One of the reporters asked him, what do you want PJ to say? Yeah, guys, keep chanting, man. We all agree. Like, in the locker room, we all agree. Fire Nico. Keep chanting, guys. Keep chanting, especially when we're shooting free throws. Please keep chanting. Like, come on, guys. Players have to answer more questions for the media every single game about this in the front office, which also sucks. Yeah, you have to understand they're in such a shitty position, the players are. Such a shitty position. Nico has talked one singular time to the media, and that was directly after the trade, and it was in Cleveland, so it wasn't even in Dallas, right? Partha, 29 months of the site delusional club. Basketball is an indulgence of samsara anyway. True. Man, I don't know. If Nico wants a chance to stop, he needs to answer to the media and the fans. So that's kind of, it was, I thought the press conference was a disaster after it happened, right? That the press conference the morning after the trade was a disaster. But I did think, you know what? It was actually important because if you don't do that immediately, the players are going to be tasked with answering every single question. right? The players are going to be tasked with answering every question the media has about the trade, and that's not fair whatsoever to them. And he hasn't, as I was saying, he hasn't spoken to the, like, had a press conference in Dallas with all of the Dallas media there. So, yeah. I didn't even see, what was Max Christie's quote? In post-game press conference, Christie was asked about PJ Washington's strong stance against the Chants. Instead of fueling the fire, Christie chose to keep his focus on the court. Yeah, I mean, definitely not pleasant to hear, but I can't really comment much on that, to be honest. Christie admitted, I don't really want to comment on that. Well, who's asking? Dude, come on, man. I don't like these questions. I really don't. I don't think it's fair at all to them. I get it. I don't think that's a fair question to ask Christie at all. And that's a great answer from Max Christie, because he's in a cannot win situation there. Because it's not like he can be like, yeah, the fans, I wish the fans wouldn't do it. We're professionals, and our job is to come out here and perform regardless of the circumstances that we're in. He explained we get paid a lot of money just to play basketball. So for us, we have little things like that may be distracting, but it shouldn't affect us. This is what happens when you let psycho Republicans own your team. They destroy everything they touch. No comment. Oh, sorry. Max is so mature for a 22-year-old. Love him. Yeah, he really is. He is very mature for his age and the way that he talks about stuff and handles things. He's handled this incredibly well. Max Christie has. So anyways, I don't know. It wasn't necessarily Twitter that was that bad. I mean, some of these responses I think are annoying. Some of these responses I think were a little bit annoying. Had ownership let the fans have their say immediately and not act like snowflakes by kicking fans out for booing or removing t-shirts. Oh my God. What the fuck is this shit? Had ownership let the fans have their say immediately and not act like snowflakes by kicking fans out for booing or removing t-shirts that they didn't want to see, this would not have picked up this much steam. PJ is blaming the fans for management acting like bitches. Please take it up with your bosses, PJ. This isn't the fans' fault. PJ's not blaming shit, bro. Like, my God. I'm sorry, man. I really like, something about this is annoying to me. This angle where it's like, let the fans say what they want to say. True. Like, I agree. I 100% agree. Let the fans say what they want to say. I 100% agree. But when the players inevitably are like, hey, yeah, I wish there wouldn't be Chants, especially when we're shooting free throws. Like, we're just trying to play the game. Like, we're not in control of this shit. Like, they can say that too. And then you have the most annoying people who are like, dude, what the fuck, bro? PJ. Dare I look at what the Mavs subreddit had to say about this? Dare I look about what the Mavs subreddit has to say? Is it even on here? This might be hilarious. The Mavs subreddit, from what I've seen, and I'm not on it ever, but from what I have seen, the Mavs subreddit has been one of the worst places imaginable. Liquor with the 199. Can we make noise with 80 back in the offs? No. Mavs Reddit mods delete anything negative about the team? That can't be true. That cannot be true. They should be happy that fans actually paid for the tickets to shut up. If they chant, so what? They tore down one of the best rosters they've ever built in just a few months. They deserve angry fan back. The players unfortunately have to deal with it, but so what? Players should feel it too. Free agents should see the shit show the new owners built and refuse to sign. The players are not going to like getting booed and having chants in the middle of their free throws. Like, I'm sorry. That's just the reality of the situation at hand. No justice, no peace. Everyone wants this to quietly go away. Doug, what do you mean you're still upset we traded a generational homegrown star to the largest market for free? Get over it already. I don't think PJ's saying that, bro. Yeah, no justice, no peace. You're so brave. You are so brave. It needs to get to the point where there's not a single player in the league that would play for Nico. Well, that ain't going to happen. Sorry to say. I'm normally against any such type of behavior, but these narcs are actively destroying this organization without any care of the fans. They don't give a shit about you. Imagine thinking someone like the president cares about the people other than those who line their pockets. I like PJ Washington, but I like a Fire Nico chant better. Sorry, PJ. I don't give a fuck if you're sick and tired of hearing it. You shouldn't even be the third option on a championship team. And 8 weeks ago, we all felt like we had a championship team. The fans have the right to chant this, and you just have to live with it, champ. This is the most average Redditor. No, ATX 620, the most average Redditor alive. This is the most average Redditor. People are way too aggressive on that website. Like, this is the shit that really pisses me off. So you shouldn't even be the third option championship team. And 8 weeks ago, we all felt like we had a championship team. I don't like 8 weeks ago, ATX 620, PJ Washington was probably one of your favorite players. My God, this is such a hilarious fucking comment. This comment is the most Reddit comment ever fucking typed out. I'm sick of him, PJ, and Najee. Why? What? Same. I like PJ a lot deep down, but dude, talk about touching in the third rail. I hope he has a great career somewhere else. Like, what? Send his ass back to irrelevancy, man. Najee is lame. Oh my God. I mean, mind you, you're in the Dallas Mavericks subreddit. I don't know. You want to know my honest to God opinion on this? My honest to God opinion. If you're still chanting Fire Nico, I think that's all fair. That's all fair. Like, if you're still a fan of this team, right? If you're still a fan of this team, I still being super critical of the front office and stuff like that is completely and totally fair. If you're still a fan of this team, so much so that you're in the Dallas Mavericks subreddit commenting shit all the time, and this is your stance on like active players on the roster, dude, just give it up. Like, I'm being serious, and this is just advice. Just give it up. You're not in a good headspace. Like, being this deep in the Dallas Mavericks subreddit and leaving comments like these, you're not in a good enough headspace. I'm being honest with you. There's better uses of your time. There are better uses of your time. And I'm not saying don't be a fan. You could continue to do this if you want. I'm just saying there's better uses of your time. It's probably for the best if you move on, buy a fucking Lakers jersey, whatever the case may be. I don't think Siley knows much about the fan culture in Europe, PR football, because this is nothing compared to things that happen in other sports. Well, this isn't European football, right? This is the NBA. And again, I like going at the front office, going at ownership. That's all fun. That's all good to me. That's all good to me. I don't know. I draw a line when it's the players who are traded here, right? Players who, like, how can you, dude, PJ Washington's played his fucking ass off every single second he stepped foot on the floor. Like, every single second that he has been a member of the Dallas Mavericks, he has played his ass off every single moment he's been on the basketball court. The Dallas Mavericks have made the NBA Finals 3 times in their franchise's history. 3 times. That's not a lot. 3 times. They do not make it the 3rd time if he's not on the team. So I'm sorry. This is so fucking lame to me. It is. And I'm not talking about MVP Luka. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the responses. And to his credit, I don't think he's shit on I don't think he's shit on PJ Washington, really. Now, I could be wrong on that. But from what I saw on Twitter, he wasn't. I'm a huge fan of Najee Marshall. I'm a huge fan of PJ Washington. Yeah, see, there you go. What is your stance? You still want Nico to stay and soak in his demise, or is it time to go? My stance initially when it happened, and it is still true, is that firing him right now, I think would be an even bigger slap to the face of the fans. Straight up. Bro, how do you expect us to move on? I invested 7 years of my life since 2018 following this team of Luka and the Mavs, and the management has just destroyed all of that in a matter of seconds. No, I'm not saying it's super easy to move on. I'm saying if you are in the depths of the Dallas Mavericks subreddit and you are shitting on the active players of this team who did not trade Luka Doncic, who did not probably not want Luka Doncic traded, who go out and play hard every single night, regardless of what has happened to their team with the trade, with other transactions, with injuries, then you need to find something healthier to do. That's what I'm saying. Like, that would be my advice. And I'm saying this as somebody who was a former Dallas Cowboys fan, and I reached a point, and obviously the Cowboys never had some, like, huge, nuclear blast moment like trading Luka. Right? You're acting as if shitting on players by fans is something the Mavs just invented. It's been happening since the NBA was invented. I know. But I am responding to the response to this. I am responding to people who are shocked that PJ Washington's like, hey, man, like, I don't know. Can you not do this shit while I'm doing free throws? While I'm shooting free throws? And then you have people who are like, dude, fuck you, PJ. Like, get off the team. We never really liked you anyways. It's like, no, that's not true. We did. We like him a lot. And I still love him. He's still one of my absolute favorite players in the league and still one of my favorite Mavs of all time. Look, as someone who invested into the Mavs for the past 12 years as a season ticket holder, I get the frustration, but the disrespect to our players and yelling while they are trying to stay focused. I don't even necessarily think it was that disrespectful to PJ himself, but if PJ is like, yo, I didn't like it, then that's fucking fine. What do you expect him to say? Honest to God. That's like people under Najee's tweet from a week ago who was just annoyed at the fake Nico Harrison account, which was funny. The Nico Harrison tweet was funny. Sarah with the $4.99, being honest and passionate is part of why we love PJ to begin with. It's fine to get booed and heckled for basketball reasons, but that isn't that. Thank you, Sarah. And yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, what do you mean go somewhere else? I'm saying your time is probably better spent not being in the depths of the Dallas Mavericks subreddit, getting into it about why you now hate PJ Washington. That's what I'm saying. I realize the Dallas Cowboys put me in such a negative headspace all the time, which at the end of the day, these are still sports, right? But, we love sports. We played sports, right? We followed them our whole lives. They become part of our identity. So it's difficult just to shred that. But I realized, I was like, man, as much as I do enjoy, or at least I thought I enjoyed, football and the Dallas Cowboys is just really an idea more than anything else. But the Dallas Cowboys, they put me in such a negative headspace all the time, but that I need to slowly start to disassociate myself from them. And I did, and now I don't care anymore. Like, I do not care. They don't make me sad. They don't make me happy. I'm done with the Dallas Cowboys. That wasn't for you? Okay, my bad. It's hard to tell in the chat sometimes. Also, you remember the channel is smaller. Taking Luka out of Dallas affects everything associated with the Dallas Mavericks. No, yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree with the frustrations. Like, I'm not saying don't be frustrated. I'm not saying don't chant fire Nico or any of this shit. That's all fair game. I'm just saying the players aren't going to like it, man. Like, that's just what you can expect. The players are not going to like it. And I'm sorry. I got to push back. Like, Maybe if it was other players on the team, maybe I wouldn't feel this strongly, and I won't say names. But maybe if it was some other players on the team, maybe I wouldn't feel as strongly. But the fact that it's PJ Washington, man, like all I've seen from this guy is him give 110% effort every single time he's on the fucking court, right? I've seen one of the biggest dogs to ever put a Dallas Mavericks jersey on, and one of my favorite players to ever put a Dallas Maverick jersey on. Right? So I can't, like, these whole, like, if you're down with Nico, fuck you too. Like, I can't, PJ buddy, you're new here, calm down. I can't get behind this shit. This shit's so lame to me. So fucking lame. Like, I'm sorry. These tough guy Redditors, man. Don't you think PJ looks bad telling fans to sit the fuck down? I personally don't think his post-game comments are bad, but saying that is, it's in the middle of the game. It's in the middle of the game. And I do think there's a difference in optics from PJ Washington telling somebody who's screaming during him shooting free throws to sit his ass down is different than Mark Cuban telling someone to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up, which actually, by the way, is the same guy. By the way, it is MVP Luka was the same guy who Mark Cuban told to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. The MVP Luka guy is just a grifter at Mavs games. I mean, I don't know. I know he's been doing this for, like, he was doing my Fire Cuban, Fire Kid. Like I said, this moment has been, dude has collected his Infinity Stones, but he told us to sit the fuck down. Yeah, who's next? Which, again, I think it's important. Right? This guy, even after being told to sit his ass down by PJ Washington, said that he loves PJ Washington. No, he doesn't look bad. You paid money to get mad. The fan is an idiot, and anyone who agrees with him is. So I was looking at his Twitter feed yesterday because I was kind of thinking the same thing, where it was like, man, at a certain point, the stronger stance would be to not go to games. And apparently he has season tickets, and by the time he tried to cancel his season tickets, they weren't giving out refunds anymore. So to be fair, like, if you already have them, you might as well go, right? You might as well go. Blue Tortoise with the 1999. You will get to it, but this is what Dirk was talking about in a way. The front office ownership hurt and drastically changed what we know and have taken little no ownership of it, and the players, workers feel the brunt of it. Yeah, that's a fantastic point. That's a great point, Blue Tortoise. And yeah, we'll get to the Dirk stuff here in a bit. Logan with the $2. Happy St. Patty's Day. Any plans today? It's St. Patty's Day? This is the first I've heard of that. Honestly, God, I did not know today was St. Patty's. I thought it was Saturday. St. Patty's Day wasn't Saturday? The fans who care enough to protest are the ones who also spend the most money and follow the team closely. Alienating your most loyal customers is a huge L business move. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we'll see how we'll really see the big ramifications of this next year. If it's January, February, and the Mavs are 500 or less than 500, it might get bad. It might get bad. Slightly, if you love a player and wish him the best but don't want his team to win, does that mean you're rooting against him? Why are you asking me that? No, it does not mean you're rooting against him. And I know why you're asking me that. You're trying to get me because I'm not necessarily rooting for the Lakers. PJ, being a Mavs fan growing up and from the area, it helps. He has leverage to speak up, in my opinion. Now I'm curious what the reaction would have been if Kyrie said what PJ said. The conspiracies by Luka fans that Kyrie was involved would have been rampant. They would have been rampant. They absolutely would have been rampant. That would have been a nightmare. Like, let's just call it what it is. If Spencer Dinwiddie said that, my God, I can't even imagine what the reaction would have been. If Caleb Martin said that, I don't even want to know what the reaction would have been. So you have Irish heritage. I'm actually not that entirely sure my family lineage. I do know I'm very German, Incredibly German pre-1900s. That's just what I want to say. Right? German family came over pre-1900s. It's important that I lay that out there. Yes, I'm white. Yes. So, Slightly, are you against fan chanting Fire Nico games? If so, I don't understand why. As I've said about 30 times, I'm not against that whatsoever. But I also think that players are not going to like it. So when players come out and they're like, yeah, guys, can you not chant that while I'm shooting free throws? Or please, like, you know, whatever the case may be. You know, like, we're tired of it. The players, like, it goes to what Dirk did allude at in his podcast at the staff, the Mavs staff. I'm not talking front office. I'm just talking like the ushers, the ticket sales reps, the players. They are all sort of bearing the brunt of this. So I take offense to the people who are in Reddit on the Dallas Mavericks Reddit and are like, fuck you, PJ. Like, come on, bro. Get serious for a second, please. And I'll be honest with you, if that's the stance you're taking, please try your hardest to move on. Like, you're in such a negative headspace. It's a Reddit post, bud. Relax. No, it's all over Twitter too. And I know there's people in this chat who feel the same way. Get serious, and people on Reddit probably shouldn't be the same sentence. That's true. Did you see he should have a statue guy at Irving City Council meeting? I saw clips of it. I've seen clips of it. Honestly, I haven't. I don't know. It's not really my thing. The only clips I saw from that were the gambling thing, which I thought was interesting. He was saying they should oppose the gambling. Yeah, that's the stuff I saw. I don't have a super hard stance on gambling being legalized in Texas, to be honest with you. You guys know how dangerous I think gambling is, right? Look with the two. What's your favorite Leprechaun film? God, I mean, what are the options? Lord of the Rings. What are we drinking on today? Oh, we just got our classic, double espresso pod from Nespresso. Just a little splash of, hey guys, lately I've just been going 2% whole milk, right? Just trying to get as much protein as possible to go along with some Chobani. I believe it's no sugar creamer, sweet cream. Back to the basics. What brand milk? I don't know. I just fucking buy them. Moo Life. Does that sound like a brand? Moo Life? It's something life, I feel like. There's a life in there. Fairlife? I believe Fairlife is it. Yes. What else was I saying? Oh, on the gambling front, there needs to be heavy regulations in place for how sports gambling is advertised. Now, when it comes to legalizing gambling in Texas, it's going to happen at some point, right? There's too much money involved. It's going to happen. And I don't have a strong feeling about it. Because if you want to gamble, if you're in the Dallas area, you can drive 1 hour and get to a place where you can gamble. That's just it. So. Maybe gambling advertisements, but gambling itself is fine. Oh, no, I think gambling is dangerous, right? I wouldn't say it's fine necessarily. The way that it's advertised right now is beyond comprehension. Like we're going to look back at this era in 20 years and just be shocked. Like in 2045, we're going to look back at this time and just be like, what the fuck was going on? What were they allowing on TV? Thoughts on people named Alexander? You can't say I know anybody who goes first name basis, right? Anybody who, we're talking about last names, there's Alexanders. First name, I don't know anyone who goes by Alexander. I do know a couple of Alexanders. They go by Alex, obviously. Is there a certain stage in your life where you go by Alexander? No, that's the question. That 1 hour becomes a real barrier for many. Yeah, I do also admittedly see the upside in like what a ginormous gambling sort of destination gambling resort could do for the local economy. I'm just being honest. I do see the upside. Thoughts on Joey Chestnut's dominance in gobbling up Grizzlies? Have they done it again? Here's the thing, guys. When it comes to the hot dog eating competitions, when it was once a year, July 4th, that was, whatever. Wipe at the $5. Every NBA YouTuber promotes sports betting, and I hate it. Only Rusty Buckets doesn't promote it. And me, I don't promote it. And I have been offered several times. And I'm not going to lie to you. I've negotiated, but the price is high. So much so that the people that I'm emailing probably are like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, what the hell is this guy talking about? In a lot of things that are dangerous, and that becomes a major slippery slope if we ban things that are dangerous. How would you define dangerous? And what else should be illegal in that regard? Well, there's also the stance that dangerous things that happen anyways, it's actually better if it becomes legalized and then regulated, right? It just becomes safer, right? It just becomes safer. If there's things that people do anyways, so did you see the Pistons coach post-game interview? Oh, about Shea? I did. My guy Shea's just getting... It's not good for the brand that after every game, the opposing team's coach is shitting all over Shea in the free throws. And they don't say it directly like that, but they know what they're saying. Legalized and regulated so only rich people can benefit. No, I mean, it's like there's plenty of... I don't even want to get into this right now. We have other stuff to talk about. Sorry. We have other stuff to talk about. This would be a derailing of the century, especially when we have like real legitimate stuff to talk about. So we had the PJ Washington drama, right? I didn't expect to spend 30 minutes talking about that, to be honest with you, because this is the big kahuna right here. This is the big kahuna. It's like, can you tweet when you're on to your next topic? Just stay in here. This is the big kahuna. Dirk has sort of broke his silence going on a German podcast. And this is a translation, triple thread NBA on Twitter. I followed him for a while. He's been a funny follow. I'll just say that. If you're a Luka fan, I would not follow him. I'll just say that. But I've enjoyed some of his stuff. Some of his tweets are funny to me. But anyways, he is German. So he's translated this. And from what I understand, Tim Cato ran this through some of his German sources. And they confirmed most of this as being what Dirk said. That was important because I wanted to make sure that we weren't just, but anyways. Dirk has kind of spoken on this. Let me ask this to start before we get into this. Me and one of my friends were talking about this. Obviously, never going to happen, hypothetical situation. But what if, hypothetically, Dirk came out and was just like, you know what, I agree. You know what, I got the logic of the trade. Like, there was some stuff behind the scenes. I understood why they did it. Like, what would have happened if Dirk said that? Genuinely. What would the reaction have been? It would have been interesting. I mean, what? It would have been interesting. Complete 180. I think a lot of people, I think you guys are underestimating, some of you are underestimating the power that Dirk holds within this city. Dirk is like the godfather of the Mavericks. It's like when he talks, you listen. When he's around, you pay attention. Here's what Dirk had to say. He numerous times called the trade insanity. So Tim Cato did say this, that he asked one of his German speaking sources if that was right, and he said this one thing: the German Wahnsinn is more like an exclamation of surprise or wow. It does not translate literally to insanity. Dirk used that word a few times. So I do want to throw that out there. You know, some of this stuff, when you translate it, can... Maybe he didn't mean insanity. Maybe some of this stuff can sort of get, messy when you translate it. So insanity is more so just like a crazy, right? Crazy trade. Because if you were to say insanity in English, like that means something different than being like, oh, that was crazy. Silky Silk specifically asked Dirk if by now he has heard any reasons. So this is interesting. Dirk emphasizes that he hasn't been involved with the Mavs for the last 2 years. Dirk says it can only be about Luka's preparation, not about his play. So that's something that is interesting to me. Dirk hasn't been involved in any real capacity with this franchise. And I knew that. That's why whenever Dirk went to the LA thing, we're like, oh, is that crazy? I'm like, why would that be crazy? Like, Dirk has no ties to this organization right now. Like, none. Dirk has absolutely zero ties to the Dallas Mavericks currently. Cuban's not a real piece of the puzzle anymore. Kid's the coach, obviously. Finley's still there. I don't know the power that Finley has within the organization. But there's been so much turnover over the last 2-3 years. And we obviously know Dumont did not mention Dirk when he mentioned all of those greats. Like, I don't think that there's a real relationship there whatsoever. Mavs subreddit hates Finley and Kid right now. Look, like Kid knew about the trade, so not liking Kid is completely and totally fair. Finley had to have known as well, huh? What a sad time. Even the legends, the franchise legends. Finley's the assistant GM. Finley knew for sure. That Kid for sure knew too. For sure. Sorry. Get serious. You think Dumont left that interview proud and then realized he didn't mention Dirk? I wonder if somebody like on his staff or something was like, dude, you didn't fucking say Dirk. Like, what the fuck, man? You didn't say Dirk? Seriously? Slightly new? Yeah, it's true. I knew about the trade as well. I was giving him notes. I was like, guys, look. No, you don't need Austin Reeves. We don't want that contract, guys. No. Don't ask for that pick. Don't ask for that pick. We don't need that pick. Trust me. I was kind of pulling the strings a little bit behind the scenes. Dirk says it can only be about Luka's preparation, not about his play. Yeah, that's obviously the case. It's obviously the case. I'm telling you guys that this could be the worst case. Like, this could be the cherry on top, is if Dirk, and I don't know if it'll happen, but if like Dirk and the Mavericks have some type of fallout, I don't know if you can come back from that in any real way, ever. This is going to be a huge stream after Tram Sally buys, probably. I'm only admitting this now because you just outed me. When I was behind the scenes pulling the strings for the trade, deep down I was like, man, the trade deadline stream is one of the biggest streams of the year for me, and I just don't think this one's going to have that much juice, guys. I need you guys to bail me out. I need the stimulus package, okay? I need you guys to give me a little boost here. And they said, don't worry, I got you. Right? Because I'd spent the whole time in the lead up to the trade deadline saying, I don't know, guys. I don't think this is going to be a crazy trade deadline. Dirk talks about watching Luka play in a yellow jersey in crypto. He calls it strange and bizarre. Well, the reason it's strange and bizarre is because those jerseys are ass ugly, right? That's why. Those jerseys are fucking horrible. That's why it's bizarre. It's also strange, but it's mainly because those jerseys are so fucking hideously ugly, right? And that's it. Slightly is the Walpole of the NBA. Luka lost blank aura points due to looking awful in those. I think initially he lost some aura points, but he'll easily gain those aura points back. Dirk talks about, I already read that. He calls the current situation with all the injuries the new reality as a Mavs fan. It will take time to live with this. Says Cuban has little to no influence on anything. Cuban has no influence on anything. I'll tell you that right now. Cuban has zero influence on anything going on in the organization. Now, that doesn't absolve him of much, in my opinion, because I do think that Cuban knew about this trade. Oh, I actually didn't even read this one. I did not read this one. Interestingly, he implies criticism on Cuban. Says Cuban had to expect what would happen when he sold the majority share. Says last year things developed into that direction. And very bitterly, he says, now we see how everything panned out. I think Cuban knew, full stop, when he sold the team, that they were going to trade him at some point. Or at the very least, that they were going to at the very least, they were going to not offer him the Supermax. I knew the name Nowitzki before he ever touched Dallas ground. I've listened to him for hours, heck days. He's the most loyal and calm person. He doesn't provoke trouble. He doesn't instigate just to do it. He doesn't cause irritation. Always balances opinions. Dirk is pissed. Lucas said he thought the trade might happen one day, and Dirk reported that they had been falling out for almost 2 years. Yeah, I mean, Tim Cato came on this channel when we did the big Luka video and said this trade had been in the works. Nick heard from somebody that I know who he heard it from. I feel it's a pretty fucking rock solid source. Could be wrong, but it feels pretty rock solid to me. I didn't mention anything at the time because Nick told me not to, but then Nick said it, so I felt comfortable saying it. That it was kind of implied whenever Cuban was selling the team that they were not going to offer him a Supermax extension. Like that was implied when they were evaluating the team for how much it could be potentially worth. Luka not getting a Supermax was factored into the equation. So it was known then. Dirk's comments are mild and their meaning's extreme. That's a great point, Sarah. Nothing Dirk says here is crazy, but it's the fact that Dirk said them is what makes it crazy. Because Dirk usually doesn't speak very much about this. Usually doesn't speak too much about this, right? So if that was implied in the deal, does that mean Cuban took Luka money? I think if I just had to speculate on what went through Cuban's mind, and I said this the moment the trade happened, I was like, I'm looking at Cuban on the team so much differently now, was that he probably sensed it. He probably needed some cash. I think it was a bunch of different factors. He probably needed some cash. He knew that the American Airlines Center lease was looming, that the lease being up was looming, and that it's probably time for, we're approaching, 30 years in the American Airlines Center. That's about the lifespan of stadiums. So it's about time for a new one. And he didn't really want to be that involved in that process. And also, he knew that there's a very good chance Luka's not on this team in the coming years. Let me get out now. Let me sell to somebody. The value is incredibly high for this team. Let me get out before the Luka trade happens. Let me get out before we have to start doing stadium shit. Jay with the $5. Reading old articles of the Cell and NBA articles saying that Cuban will retain oversight of basketball operations was strange then and crazy looking back. Oh, we knew at the time. When the Cell happened, we were talking here. We're like, there's no fucking way that happens. There's no way Cuban has any power in this organization in 2 years. None. I know you already touched on this, but Mavs fans should be happy with PJ's response to the presser. What is he supposed to do? Sob at the presser and say, Luka, I miss you? No, he's a competitor. And that's how I feel about it, too. Can't wait for Doc Rivers to be fired and go on Simmons' podcast and say they were so close to pulling the trigger on them trading Giannis and Dame for Luka and Lively to reset timeline. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cuban also needed some liquidity at the same time, so it was perfect. Yeah, I think it was a bunch of different factors, but I do think this probably played into it because Nico had already been there. I think he sensed it. I think Cuban sensed it, and they probably talked about it, but definitely sensed it. Respectfully, if Tim and Nick knew this was looming and never reported on it, they didn't do their job very well. What's the purpose of keeping it quiet and then saying you've been hearing it? No, I don't think so. The thing that I'm talking about with the contract extension and selling the team, from what I understand, Nick didn't hear that until after the trade. And also, the idea of trading Luka is so preposterous that even if you kind of heard some stuff, in your brain, you probably think there's no fucking way they trade Luka, and I'm going to look like a dumbass if I say this. Nobody's going to believe me. And also, all of the frustrations the front office had with Luka, those were all well known. Everything that came out afterwards, we already knew that. We already knew all of that stuff. But nobody thought that it meant that they were going to trade him at some point. The Supermax stuff is odd. There's a missing piece, like a HIPAA-secured medical record of Luka saying he's early arthritis or highly likely Kawhi trajectory. I mean, they probably just looked at how he preps. They probably looked at how he spends his summers. They probably look at how he spends his recovery time. And they thought, if this guy's dealing with lingering injuries now, he's fucked unless he changes dramatically. And they took a shot at him not doing that. He's looking pretty good right now. Yeah, he is looking good, and he's starting to look better physically. I still don't think he'll be physically 100% this season at any point, right? I don't think Luka playing his way into shape during the season has never really been a concern. I think the concern is probably why does he always have to play his way into shape all the time? Which we can pretend that wasn't the case, but it was. Let's just be honest. It was the case. We're going to do a March Madness bracket, yeah. Doesn't trading Luka help him financially for a 7-year timeline? He can't have a contract to his 10th year of his career, then he get a 5-year max contract? Wait, hold on, sorry. Doesn't trading Luka help him financially for a 7-year timeline? He can't have a contract to his 10th year of his career, then get a 5-year max contract. Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, we're going to talk about the AD news here in a second. So anyways, that was the Dirk stuff, which when Dirk speaks, you listen. That's simple. They pissed Dirk off, man. You got to answer to me. Hey, I'm the Redditor now. I'm the Redditor. You pissed Dirk off, you got to answer to me, bucko. You got to answer to me, pal. Tyler with the $4.99. Who cares about the Luka trade? Y'all traded Grimes for what's his name? Bigger story here. Also, St. John winning it all. Man, fuck no. St. John's isn't winning shit. You joking? That offense ain't good enough. Do I watch any of their games? No. Have I heard other people say that? Yes. So I'm parroting it. I'm the Redditor now. I did watch the Lakers. I did watch the Lakers play the pathetic Suns last night. Yes. The pathetic Suns were on my screen. The pathetic Suns were unfortunately gracing my screen. And I'm sorry. Hold on a second, guys. I want you to publicly be witness to this. Screen, I'm sorry. I know you probably have a 4 or 5 year lifespan, and I spent some of your very short amount of time putting on the pathetic Suns. No, I know. Trust me, I get it. You have to understand, though, it's going to be the case moving forward. The pathetic Suns are going to be on the screen for quite some time. And I'm sorry about that. Well, this is what you've been training for. I don't care. Make it fucking work, or else I'm going to trade you. Do you understand? Do you like sitting here? Do you like the coziness of this area? Okay, then shut the fuck up and do your job. The pathetic Suns will be on your screen tonight. Yes, guys, I know the Mavs are also pathetic. I know. God, man. Jesus. I mean, Jesus Christ. True, the Mavs play hard. That's right. The Mavs try. They're pathetic in a different way currently. Slightly isn't the same after the trade. I'm better. I'm better than I've ever been. The pathetic Suns, how I'll always remember them. And I will continue. That's how I'll refer to them now. The pathetic Suns. I will not say the Phoenix Suns. They are the pathetic Suns from here on out. I'm going to start tweeting like Donald Trump. The pathetic Suns. They're so pathetic. TLG with the $2. Haha, Mavs bad. Am I right, guys? You are. The pathetic Suns. Watched, speaking about that, watched The Apprentice last night. Dude. One, Sebastian Stan was incredible. Jeremy Strong is so fucking good. He is so good. He is incredible. He is so good. He is like season tickets, Jeremy Strong. The pathetic Suns, so pathetic. We've never seen anything like it, really. They tell me it's so pathetic. Devin Booker is a crybaby. I call him Crybaby Booker. Speed ran White Lotus. I'm catching up to season 3 right now. 10 out of 10 show. I haven't watched the latest episode. The pathetic Suns, folks. So how do you feel if Dirk is courtside in crypto after Game 6 of the finals, hyping every Luka 3 and drive? Oh, well, Game 6 of the finals. That's hilarious. I would feel very sad. Miles with the $2. Why did Luka's habits change after year 2? Well, I think when you get older, and, you know, we're all victim to this. When you get older, your body breaks stuff down differently, right? You're not 18, 19 years old anymore. You know, you spend a night drinking, your body, you know, it handles that a little bit differently, right? We make the playoffs and slightly donated his ACL to Kyrie. I've got too much stuff going on to donate my ACL. Maybe one of you guys should. Mavs with all these injuries, but never having done the Luka trade would be just as hopeless for the season, right? Oh, I mean, yeah, like in a hypothetical world where all your bigs are hurt and Kyrie towards ACL, yeah, you'd be done. Like you would still have Luka, but yeah, I mean, the team wouldn't win. Team wouldn't be winning. No. I really don't think the Lakers can win this year. And like if you factor in the Mavs injuries, their supporting cast is way better than the Mavs, obviously. How's the softball going? We had a bye week last week. I mean, what the fuck is that? We had a bye week in week 3. Okay. Hater. I'm sorry. I don't think the Mavs are. I don't think the Lakers are making the finals. If that's a hater, then that's fine. So y'all are good. We're 2-2. It's a new league, new field. You want to know how I can tell we're getting older? Just everyone on our team, we're getting older. We show up. It's the first time we're playing in a few months. First game, throwing the ball around. One of the guys on my team comes up and he's like, yo, is this field a little bit more blurry than the other fields? I said, I don't think that's how it works, buddy. I think maybe you need to go get your eyes checked out. I'm just getting a little older. I don't even know what that means. No, this side of town's a little blurrier. No. I don't think it changes by region. The air here is blurrier. Oh man. Kid plays Luka and Kai 40 minutes even if he's not traded. Luka trade doesn't affect Kyrie injury at all. No. I agree with you. I agree with you there. If not OKC, then who's your opinion to win the West? I mean, I just feel so confident that it's going to be OKC that I don't really know. I think the Warriors are fast tracking their way to my second team, like the number 2 team in the West. I don't know. I watched them play. They look good. They really do. And I just feel Jimmy and Steph, and obviously you have Luka and LeBron, don't get me wrong, but Warriors ain't beating Lakers. I think that'd be a great, fun series. If I were to say a second team, the Lakers would be definitely in consideration. J-Dub and Dort have no return timetable, bro. They'll be back for the playoffs. The playoffs are in a month. A healthy Lakers easily second best. I don't know if I'd say easily, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'd say easily. The Warriors are small. All of these teams outside the Thunder have glaring weaknesses. Which is why and also hey man, Minnesota, if they keep this play up for the next month, Wolves are a dark horse, absolutely. If the Timberwolves keep this level of play up for the next 3-4 weeks before the playoffs start, I think they would be my number 2 team, to be honest with you. I think that their size poses so many matchup problems for other teams. The problem is Julius Randle playoffs. Need I say more? Need I say more? No, I don't, and I won't. Didn't you just watch Luka beat OKC hurt? They won't beat him and Bron healthy. The Mavericks are gigantic. The Mavericks were ginormous. And that gave so many problems. So many problems. For the Thunder. And the Mavs are so massive, yeah. Lakers are bigger than the Mavs. Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively dominated that series on the glass. Family Pokemon Gaming with the 199. Luca collab to anyone. He even made DGDL good. DGDL? I do agree with you. So did you play D-line or O-line? Neither. Oh, Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively. Okay, I've never seen them. I've never seen their names. What are you saying, bro? Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively are monsters. And weirdly enough, Daniel Gafford has best stretch of play with the Mavs after Luka got hurt. It's very weird. Good for him. Did you see how Luka was giving Koloko McGee looks yesterday? Yes, Koloko had a tough time out there. Warriors winning with Q posted the 5. I'm so sure to be. Guys, keep in mind, look at the chat. Look how upset people are. Is because I said, I don't think the Lakers are making the finals. Just keep in mind, guys. That's why everybody in the chat is so upset. It's because I said, I don't think the Lakers are making the finals. Just keep in mind, guys. That's why everyone's upset above me. All right, let's get into some other stuff. I didn't say they were bad. I didn't say they were going to lose in the first round. I just said, I don't think they're going to make the finals. Why? Because I think the Thunder are fucking disgustingly good. I'm puzzled to let the Warriors take. The Warriors look fantastic. They have an infrastructure that works. We know what Steph's capable of. We know what Jimmy's capable of. Draymond looks psychotic on the basketball court. I think they're in conversation. I think that they're in consideration for that second best team in the West. Warriors, Lakers, Nuggets, Timberwolves. Those are the teams up for debate there. With the Rockets and Grizzlies, you have to respect what they've done in the regular season, but there's so many. They just feel like they're not really contenders. It would be hilarious if the Grizzlies ended up winning the West. It would be hilarious if they did that and everyone looked back and like, oh yeah, they were pretty good, huh? They played 8 tanking injured teams in 11-ish games. Holy hell. Yeah, but they're winning. I mean, what do you want me to say to that? They're winning games. It's like, so what? Should they be losing games? I don't really understand. Lakers lost to the Nets. What does that tell you? Yeah, I mean, would it be better if they lost to those teams? The Nets play hard every night. They do play hard every night. Anthony Davis will be available in street clothes for the next game. All right. So immediately I see this and I think, thank you, pathetic sons. Thank you, pathetic sons. Anthony Davis, it appears, is nearing his return. Why do I say thank you, pathetic sons? The pathetic sons should be comfortably in a playing spot, and the Dallas Mavericks should just be on their way to the end of the season. Wicked, 29 months to the side delusional club. The light in the mode, Fave Hut song? The light in the mood, Fave Hut song. Mine is Drive. I like Cry For Me. It's my favorite song on the album. But I like Sao Paulo. I like, I'm bad with the names. Oh, I Can't Wait to Get There. That's a good one too. So anyways, the pathetic sons should be comfortably in the play-in tournament. Instead, here they are. doing their thing. Anthony Davis is practicing with the Legends today and is very eager to return from his adductor strain before season's end. League sources tell the Steinline and Dallas Sports. Whether he actually does return, though, remains TBD amid concern about exposing Davis to re-injury. So if you're wondering why is he with the G League, they do this so they can get 5-on-5 practices, and it opens up a practice window for them. So that's why they do it. He's not playing the G League. Although that would be hilarious. They don't do that really in basketball. They do it in baseball. Like baseball, it's cool because the player gets hurt and then they do the rehab starts and you can go to Frisco, pay $10 and you get to watch Jacob deGrom pitch. Like that's cool. They don't really do that in basketball. So instead of getting the surgery, they keep doing this. Well, if they don't think a surgery is necessary, I don't think players love surgery. It's easy. It's very easy for fans to be like, dude, just get your surgery and shut it down. Like, I don't think the players love surgery. Like, I'm sure they're not like, oh, get the surgery? All right, cool. Yeah, let me get it. Let me get it then. I think the Mavs should tank, in my honest opinion. What's the point of trying to come back this year? Yeah, that's where I'm at. Isaac's made the point, and I agree with him. It goes beyond the trying to get a better draft pick. It's just wanting the season to be over and done with. That's really what it is. Obviously, if AD does come back, you'll make the play-in tournament. Like, let's say AD returns next week. Like, let's just say AD comes back. It's a 5-on-5 work-in. Looks good. Boom. He's back next week. Let's say the Mavs are 1.5 games up in the play-in still. They're going to make the play-in tournament. They're going to make the play-in tournament. Like, it's going to happen. They're going to win enough games to be in with a schedule that's not great to close out the season versus the Suns' schedule that is just fucking nightmarish, right? Doesn't this trend feel destined for AD to get re-injured in Game 8 of next season and need surgery with the way their luck has gone, though? Oh, yeah, for sure. And yeah, you make a good point that very quietly, the Kings are 1.5 games back of up on the Mavs and are tail spinning. So the Mavs could host a play-in game, which would be funny. Would be kind of funny. Worst case scenario, they end up the 8 seed and play OKC first round. No, that's not worst case scenario. If they make the play-in tournament, I'm rooting for them to win. I want to be very clear here. If it starts to look as though, hey, they're not leaving the play-in tournament, all right, fine. If AD's back, let's lock in. Let's try to fucking make the playoff. Like, give us something, right? Give us a couple, like, AD moments. Like, just give us something. I would not pick them to win, obviously. I'd pick them to get swept, probably. But give me something. Give us something that we can enter into the offseason going into next year. Like, okay, well, we know when that guy plays what he does. Right? Here's the thing, though, is I feel like this happens every time a team is in the play-in tournament, except in the shit East, right? But I think all 4 of these teams in the play-in, and maybe I'm wrong, but just kind of assume they'll be in the playoffs. I hear this talk all the time. It's like, yeah, the playoffs. It's like, well, I don't think the Mavs would make it out the play-in tournament. As it stands right now, they'd have to win 2 road play-in games to make the playoffs. I don't see that happening. AD versus OKC would be like what when he was with New Orleans and played versus Golden State in round 1? Yes. Wolves destroy the Mavs. Yeah, like, well, I'd pick the Wolves to beat the Clippers in a play-in game in Minnesota for sure. But then what? You have to beat the Kings in Sacramento? Okay, you could probably do that. Especially if the Kings look like this. And then what? Like, beat the Clippers in LA? I mean, sure, you can maybe do that, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Is AD today New Orleans AD or worse? I mean, he was finishing top 3 in MVP voting in New Orleans. And by the way, the Pelicans did win a playoff series with AD. He had that unbelievable series against the Trailblazers. in 2018. AD had some pretty crazy playoff moments with the Pelicans. Literally swept the Trailblazers. And he averaged 33 points and 12 rebounds in that series, and 3 blocks and 2 steals. Good God. Jesus Christ. I mean, I knew he was dominant in that series. I didn't realize statistically it was that dominant. Yeah, put some respect on AD's name, man. He literally won a fucking championship. And it was a consensus top 3 player in the league after that. So put some respect on him. I know that was a while ago. I get it. The AD hate by Mavs fans is a little insane. Well, it doesn't help that he played 3 quarters of basketball, right? But yeah, they're mad, and they're, obviously AD's going to get a... You glazing right now? Okay. Obviously AD's going to get going to get the brunt of that, for sure. Mickey Mouse ring? Do you think they make Lively and Gafford come back if they make the playoffs? Well, I think Lively could potentially come back either way. Like, this was around the time. Gafford, I'm not so sure. What was the initial time frame for him? I haven't heard anything about him. Fair or not, he's never going to be embraced here. Not to the level of Luka, obviously. If by a miracle the Mavericks are like really good next year and really competing, he will be embraced here. He will. Like, he will. Lively said he was good to go at his pop-up signing. Yeah, players always say they're good to go, to be fair. Gaffney should be back by the end of the month. Mavs ain't competing without Kyrie. No, I agree with you. I mean, this year they don't stand a chance. Next year, I still, unless they make a crazy trade in the offseason, I still don't. And I thought about Zion. Does that sound like something that could happen? Zion. I mean, do we just fucking go for it, right? What is Zion's market? I don't know. I don't know what the trade would be. With what assets? The Mavs could put together a decent package, I think, for teams. Like, I think the Mavs have a great KD package, especially if the Suns want to keep being good and build around Booker. I think the Mavs have one of the best packages they could get, actually. The question is it worth it for the Mavs to gut their rotation like that? Because like a PJ, Gafford, insert other role player here type of guy. The Pelicans are more interesting because it's like they'd probably want younger players, right? Zion feels like a Laker based on historical evidence. Injured star that gets miraculously healthy to make a perfect pair for Luka for 7 seasons. Oh, can you imagine that? I was thinking about Zion too, but optically it's terrible. If Luka was a conditioning concern, why would we compromise who we have for Zion? No, I don't think there's anything that indicates the Mavs are interested in Zion. I'm just thinking about players who could be available. Those 3 quarters he was embraced. Oh, I know. I was outside the stadium. I was there during the protests. I went to a bar, which I felt actually a little bit more accurate representation of how the like real fans feel, because inside the arena is weird. You go to a bar, everyone's pissed off. They're just leaving the protest. Everyone's drinking. I literally watched. The place go fucking nuts during that first quarter. You're overvaluing PJ and Gafford. No, I don't think so. Whenever I think about other potential KD packages, like, again, they've come out and said it pretty much. The Suns don't want to rebuild. They're not interested in trading Devin Booker. If they trade KD, it's to get pieces that they can place around Devin Booker now and have Devin Booker be the the focal point. Yeah, you're getting two very, very good starting caliber players. Wiggins, Rozier, Hami. No, I would rather have PJ and Gafford and Najee, if that's it. I don't want to touch fucking Terry Rozier. I don't want to touch Terry Rozier. Are you prepared to take the Bill Simmons mantle and tell these tales of the Mavericks during the Luka trade era like he does when mentioning being around Boston at a young age? Yeah, I can't wait to be 50, 60 years old like Bill and just fucking chilling, doing podcasts. Like, it's going to be great. I'm already a trillionaire at that point, and I've already given all of my money back to the community pretty much. I've only kept a handful of billions of dollars, and I'm just doing podcasts, right? Yeah, Scary Terry's been scary. That much is certain. That much is certain. PJ and Gafford are too important for us. Fuck the Suns. No, I mean, look, I agree. I said at the top of the stream, I'm out of the KD thing. I'm just out on it. Maybe I own the Mavs at that point. Who knows? So anyways, AD's coming back soon, it sounds like. I mean, if it looks like the Mavs, I think I mentioned this before. When it came out that they were reevaluating, I said, give it a couple weeks, give it a week or two. If it looks like the Mavs are still in the playing tournament, then fuck it, bring him back. You might as well, right? I'm only team tank until it doesn't make sense to tank anymore. Then at that point, fine. If we're going to be in the playing tournament, let's just do it. Luke deserved the Supermax. He worked his ass off to make Dallas Mavs into a franchise that's recognizable. No star wanted to come there. They only started coming there to play with Luka. Well, the Mavs traded for 2 stars. But I do agree with you. What is the point? Because if you're going to be there, you might as well try to fucking win. Like, if you're gonna make the playing tournament, you might as well win the games. If you're gonna be in the playoffs, you might as well be like try to be as competitive as possible. Are the Mavs pushing AD to get back on the court to push this win now mode? I think AD's gonna be ready to play. I don't. When it was reported that AD is going to be good to go, I think it was Stein said that AD is going to reach a point where he's going to be able to play this season. I don't think that was the Mavs saying that. I think that was AD's people saying that. I think he's going to want to play. Based off of the Grimes move, I can see Nico pivoting off of PJ and our Gafford next deadline. If you can't get them extended at a reasonable extension this summer, Gafford for sure. PJ, I'm not entirely sure. TLG with the $2. Why did the Mavs sign Clay knowing their Luka plan? Well, I mean, Clay still works with Kyrie and AD. If that was like their secret plan the entire time, having a floor spacer with AD, very important. They insulted Luka by trading him for 1 first-round pick. Look at Rudy Gobert's trade package. Mikal Bridges, the Mavs disgust me. Well, AD was not involved in any of those trades. And Markkanen wasn't Larry Markkanen when the Cavs traded him. A-Site, did you see the Bishop drama on Twitter recently? Genuinely one of the most unhinged Twitter moments in recent history. The Bishop drama. I don't know. No, I did not see that. Like the chess piece? This? Accepting new. Oh, God. This? Well, I can only imagine. I don't want to read any reply because I'm worried I'd get banned from this platform, but I can only imagine. Are you watching White Lotus Season 3? Yes, I'm not updated yet. Did you see the Bleacher Report put out a fake summer trade of Reeves, Vanderbilt, and a first-round pick for Gafford and Clay? I did see that. I mean, look. I did see that. The small remaining group of Mavs fans I saw replying to that, I felt like I was taking crazy pills. Because that's an easy yes for the Mavs, right? Like, that's an easy yes. That feels like a terrible deal for the Lakers. Terrible. Given Brooklyn and Phoenix's drama, turnover, and underachievement after going all in for KD plus his age of 37 and contract situation, no team should trade the moon for him. No, KD's not going to have a big market, man. Nico will not trade for any white guys. So it's going to be interesting to see what that theory moves into. Is it Nico doesn't like white guys, or is it a European thing? We need to figure that out. We need to figure that out. Because, is Austin Reeves on the table? Or is that considered back pay for the Lakers robbing the Mavs? Yeah, it could be. Because they did bring in Kyler Kelly, right? They did bring him in. He was white. I'm literally, you guys, please do not take anything I just said seriously. Please. Please. AR doesn't have a cool sneaker, Snotty. See, actually, Hunter, that's where you're wrong. That is where you are wrong. The AR Rigger ones are one of the more hype shoes on the TikTok sphere, at least. Can I just see the shoes? They're supposed to be great. The all black ones are supposed to be, or the all black ones look really sick. Is this the shittiest search engine of all time? Why the fuck am I on Bing? Why in the hell am I on Bing.com? These are sick. I mean, come on. They're pretty cool, honestly. Being a big 25. Oh, man. Wait, there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. That is Dallas Mavericks related. This is why I said the Mavericks. Important episode today. Those are Unk shoes? No, man. Don't say that. Don't say that. Where was it? Where did I see it? It was their the Fire Nico Chants is just so funny. It was the AI video that they played on the Jumbotron. Trying to find it on Twitter. I mean, it was the most disgusting video I've ever seen. It was a hype video. And they've been doing this all year. Like, they've been doing AI edited videos where it'll be like a highlight reel, a highlight of a play or something. And they'll do like the AI thing to make it look like a Greek god or some shit. Which, I think looks terrible, obviously. But this one that they posted, this one that they did a couple days ago was so bad. Or I guess last night they did it. Was so fucking bad. The whole video was AI. It was the most piece of shit looking thing I've ever seen. I'm trying to find it. Where the hell is it? Is it getting deleted? Luka makes Jackson Hayes relevant. Any reasonable big man will be more than fine there. Yeah, of course. Of course. And again, to his credit, Jackson Hayes was trending upward before the trade. Oh, it's on Reddit. I just found it. But yes, I mean, Luka's just going to make every center look 10 times better than they are. I mean, that goes without being said. They don't want us to see that shit again. Honestly, I appreciate it. Your tweet was hilarious. This Luka got compassed on ESPN. It's so fucking annoying the way ESPN talks about him now. Like, so annoying. It frustrates me so much. It's like, where was this shit, man? You guys could have been saying all of this. Here it is. Mavericks Jumbotron hype video. So I'm going to come out, like, all of the frustrations with the team, with the trades and stuff like that. I feel bad for, like, media team and anybody else who wasn't involved in it directly having to answer to it. Yvonne the Great with the $2. Allen Iverson edits videos now. Yeah, AI's been killing it, man. Killing it. Mavericks Jumbotron hype video. Now, is the audio AI as well? Okay, I don't know if I can play this song. So it's just a pure AI slapfest, this video. No, I don't know if the audio is AI. I don't think the audio is AI, to be honest with you. The video is absolutely AI. And I don't know if other teams do this, but I'm not a fan of this at all. I'm not a fan of this, really. The AI stuff. It's like, really, man? Tom with the $4.99. That video's like when you get a strike in bowling. No, that shit's better because at least an artist made that with his blood, sweat, and tears. I'm just so confused as to why they would. I don't know. I don't know. AI art pisses me off because there are so many good independent artists. I don't like the AI art thing. I really wish they didn't do it. I really wish. It's so bad. I mean, the concept is kind of funny. Like, if you talk the team into doing something like this, like all in cowboy get-ups and on horses, going through the streets of downtown Dallas. Peace out, Trap. Like, that's pretty funny, right? The concept. Would we care about this if the Mavs weren't bad right now? I would. I haven't liked the use of AI in their like hype videos all year. So Playboy Cardi got outed for using AI on some of the songs on his recent album. So I'm not going to lie, and this is probably bad on my end. I listened to that, and I don't listen to Playboy Cardi enough to know the real differences. I listened to that, and I couldn't tell, personally. I don't like AI in general. So AI is important. All the people who are like AI sucks, like you're out of your mind. AI is the future of everything that's going to happen. I'm telling you that right now. That much is certain. But I like it for certain things. The use of AI should be to make, Allen Iverson's to go, yes, should make the mundane stuff in our lives, the mundane stuff at our jobs, whatever the case may be, it should handle that shit. The art is where we draw a line. AI for certain things is inevitable. That much is certain. It is inevitable. It's just inevitable. Art, it's scary to me because everyone will say, I mean, this does look like shit, obviously, but look, for this being what, year 2, year 3 of AI, it's really not that bad. Especially compared to where it was, you know, like a year ago. Wait a second. Hold on. Let's go backwards. What does that say on the basketball? What's on that basketball? Wait. Did you guys catch that? That looks like it says KD. Slow it down. Does that say KD? What the fuck does that say? From a tiny glance, it kind of looked like the KD logo. Just from a tiny glance. Right? Like when it comes up right there. Mo for Mo Bamba? Oh, shit. Mo Bamba's on the way. No, it looks like a butt. No, that's kind of what KD's logo looks like, though. It's kind of what KD's logo looks like. Kind of looks like a butt. Wait a second. Something to think about. It kind of looks like it. It kind of looks like it. Maxi Kleber is traded and bought out in July. Do you think the Mavs would bring him back on a league minimum deal? No. Anyways, man, this hype video is terrible. Like I was saying, it is kind of crazy. Like, this is year 2 or 3 of AI. It really doesn't look that bad. Like, where's AI going to be out in 5 years with the video and the pictures? That's kind of the scary stuff, you know? My God, Hardy, what the fuck? Do the players not feel strange about this? I mean, I'm sure they signed off on something, but like, it's funny this isn't the worst hype video of the year for the Mavs. It's true. At least they didn't black out anybody. AI is so bad, nobody even believes those videos are real. No, I know. But I'm saying where it's at right now, and it's kind of infancy. Well, the blurring is hilarious. The video where they blacked out Maxi Kleber and superimposed the Dallas Mavericks logo on him is really funny. I've gone beyond, like, if you just look at that from a comedic standpoint, hilarious. Genuinely hilarious. Paul at the $5. I think slightly biased is actually AI sent back from the year 2035. Could be. But, you know, what? Are we going to be in 2035? And it could be as simple as I'm at my computer. It's just like, I don't want to fucking stream today. Like, AI, go on YouTube, live stream pretending to be me, talk about blah, 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 blah. Boom. Send it in. Is that going to be a thing? It wasn't even 2 years ago we had that AI Will Smith eating spaghetti, and that was so bad compared to this. I'm just saying, it's going to reach a spooky point for sure. It's going to reach a very spooky point. And I've had people hit me up, like thumbnails, like why don't you do thumbnails? And there's been AI in it, and I'm just like, oh man, I appreciate it, but I'm just really not. I'm really not that interested in the AI. Like, and don't get me wrong, like I've done the, like on playback and stuff, we've done like the AI. And guys, yeah, it is AI. I know you see some of the thumbnails I've used where I have the huge buff body and I put my face on it. That was AI, guys. And I know it's difficult. And, you know, I know it's difficult to think that. Grok works very well for that. I get so fucking pissed off when I see somebody grok a picture of like Luca. It's like, dog, why did you grok that? Why did you grok that? You could just go on Google and find the picture. You use AI bald head. So it is interesting, right? The like filters that we use that are AI, you know, like the face changing filters and stuff like that. The difference in just kind of the acceptability of that versus, you know, and I do think that's different than that's different than just a full-fledged AI picture. Extremely believable political warfare on social media via AI feels like it's coming, making them say or do things they did to change public perception of the other candidate. Oh, yeah, that's for sure coming. So, like, Grok AI images can be funny if they're clearly fake. There's certain things that just you could really only make on AI, right? But nothing will beat the super shitty Photoshops. Those are the funniest pictures. There's a jersey swap that always makes me cry laughing anytime I see it. It was Lamar Jackson. It's from a long time ago. It was Lamar Jackson photoshopped into a Chiefs jersey, but he was the running back. So fucking funny. Genuinely makes me laugh anytime I saw it. And it's so shitty. Like, it's such a shitty it's so shitty quality. You can't remake that. You can't make the charm of that gets lost. Cardi album review. There's not a chance in hell I'm listening to a 30-song Playboy Cardi album. I mean, not a chance in hell. Why is that kind of hilarious? No, it's not kind of hilarious. It's really funny. It's really funny. This is not funny. The idea is kind of funny, right? Like the idea of Kyrie in this get up with a cowboy hat outside of a saloon dancing is funny. The idea of Kyrie on a horse going through downtown Dallas, which by the way, downtown Dallas never looks like this. This many people walking on the street, this many cars, never. It's a fucking ghost town down there. Like there's this many people walking on a downtown Dallas street. Oh man. That's hilarious to think about. But the idea is funny, right? Like Max Christie on a horse. The idea is funny there. That's a Luka protest? True, that could be. Oh my God, AD looks horrifying here. Oh my God. Is it the idea that it's bad and cheesy kind of the point? It's not supposed to look good? Yeah, but you can do bad and cheesy on your own. You know? Do you get what I'm saying? Can we get a fake outrage video of the Cowboys pick next month for social media? Should I go that route? Should I just be annoying as fuck on Twitter about the Cowboys, but actually not care? I don't know what that sound effect was and how it even got made. All this cheesy talk makes me want a quesadilla. Paul with the $2. Man, it's been a while since I've had a good dilla. All right, that's it for the stream. Before we say our goodbyes, by the way, this week is a 2-stream week, unfortunately. I'm going golfing. Let's go golfing. I'm going golfing Friday morning, so there will not be a Friday version of Slightly Early. I do want to make my very first bracket of this bracket season. I'm going to the Gulf of America, folks. We're going to call it the Gulf of America. We love the golf. The Pathetic Sons will be golfing soon. The Pathetic Sons, that's what I call them. They're pathetic, folks. Devin Booker, I call him Crybaby Booker. He's a crybaby. Kevin Durant, I call him Dog Shit Durant. Everywhere he goes, smells like shit. Dilla's Quesadillas in Plano is apparently really good. I've eaten there before. It's all right. Quesadillas are one of those foods where it's just like, you eat it and you're almost just like, did I need to go to a restaurant to consume this? One of those things. It's like, did I really just fucking go to a restaurant to eat this? Bradley Beal. I call him No Deal Beal. It's the worst deal of all time. No Deal Beal. We are different people because I'd happily go for a quesadilla. I guess it's one of those things. If I go to a restaurant, nachos, quesadilla, and I order those things, it's like, why the fuck did I just go to a restaurant? You know? Chewy's got good dillas. Okay, I guess it's different if you're going to like a Tex-Mex place and you're just like, I just want margarita. Like, the main reason I'm here is for margaritas. Everything else is just sort of secondary, different. But also, I got a local Tex-Mex place I go to, and man, ooh. I mean, I think you're doing yourself a disservice, right? I believe they call it, I don't know what it's called, but it's chicken. And it's supposed to come with tortillas, but I just usually don't go tortillas. It comes in like a bowl almost. And it's not like a stew necessarily, but it's chicken. It's got some chipotle sauce. It has grilled peppers in it. It's making me a little hungry just thinking about it. Is it a Chili's? No, it's salsas. I mean, just delicious. Thinking about it right now, it's literally just making me so hungry. Mole, there's mole sauce, but it's a chipotle sauce. I don't know if it's mole sauce, but that is one of them. Chicken baked from Costco. Isn't that shit like 2,000 calories? It might be mole, actually. So good. I fuck it up, man. I just fucking eat it with a fork. It's delicious. And then I think about it, I'm like, I could have had this or a quesadilla. You know, thoughts on the Costco guys? What thoughts are there to have on the Costco guys, possibly? What thoughts could you even possibly have about the Costco guys? I did see the picture of Rizzler watching Godfather 2 on the airplane. Honestly, what's Rizzler doing watching Godfather 2? On an airplane, mind you. Like, what's going on? What is he, like 9 years old? The thought process of a 9-year-old on an airplane to scroll through all the bunch of movies. You got I think all the Marvel movies are on there. How else would you eat it? No, it comes with like tortillas. You're supposed. It's almost like fajitas. You're supposed to put them in a tortilla and eat them that way. I'm cool with the salsas owner. I fucking love salsas, man. And I respect the Costco guys. They built an empire. There's a whole universe. There's like 15 people, right? I know Big Justice, Little Justice. What's his name? No, Big Justice is the kid, right? What's the dad's name? It's not a Big Justice, Little Justice situation. Big Justice is the kid. Then you have the Rizzler. AJ, Big AJ. That's right. AJ, Big Justice, the Rizzler. I don't know any of the other characters outside of those three. That's like Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America. Like those are the big three. I don't know any of them outside of that. They're all just kind of side characters, in my opinion. Like those three get their own feature film, right? And part of the Avengers. The others are just kind of like side characters on a Disney show that does horrible numbers. AJ cheated on his wife after the fame. No way. Really? Is that true? Is that real? I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that. Having to give up Maxi Kleber in that trade made it even more insane. I think they had to for contracts, right? I mean, I'd rather have Christie than Maxi Kleber if that was like the deal. All right, let's do. This is my first bracket. We'll have a refined bracket on Wednesday. I'm doing all my research today and tomorrow. I am notoriously, historically, surprisingly very good at this. And I want to preface this by saying I don't watch a lick of college basketball. I don't even know who the players are on the teams. But I'm historically strangely very good at brackets. I've won them. There was a stretch where like my friend pool, I won it like 3 consecutive years. And it's usually all vibes based. I close my eyes and I envision, can I see this team doing well? If the answer to that question is no, I don't pick them. So let's go. This is my first one, just blind. Auburn versus, who the fuck's that? All ALST. What school could that be? Wait, do I not get a preview? Oh, I can't. Okay, well, Auburn, obviously. I know Auburn has won last 3 of their last 4. I saw a stat that no team has ever won a tournament losing 3 of their last 4 games going into the tournament. Louisville versus Creighton. So I do know Creighton still has Cockburner. Is that his name on the team? How the fuck is that possible? How old is that guy? How old is he? Creighton and Louisville. Man, there's something about Louisville in March. There's also something about Creighton in March. And I also heard that Creighton's coach is potentially going to Indiana. Louisville. I don't like the coach in limbo thing. I don't like the coach in limbo. Oh, yeah, and Louisville's mad about being the 8th seed. Michigan versus UC San Diego. Oh, that one's tough because UC San Diego, UC Irvine. I knew that they were big, but I know Michigan's underseeded. So I close my eyes and I think the teams that I've saw on Twitter, people are upset that they were underseeded, usually do well, I feel like. Michigan. Texas A&M versus Yale. Yale, easily. Not even a debate. I don't even know who the fuck's on Yale. I'd pick against Texas A&M no matter what. I've seen a few Texas A&M games. Wade Taylor, hilarious player. Give me Yale. As an Aggie, take Yale. Ole Miss versus San Diego State or UNC. So there's this thing with UNC, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. Chris Beard is coach of Ole Miss, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Or I saw. UNC, could this be one of those things? Everyone's so pissed off that UNC made the tournament. Could this be no one picks them and they end up doing better than anticipated? Potentially. I'm blind picking UNC. We could change that. Iowa State versus Lipscomb. Put some respect on the Big 12 immediately. Iowa State on to the next round. Marquette versus New Mexico. I'm not getting any vibes based off this at all. I'm not feeling anything. Correct me if I'm wrong. Rick Pitino's son's the head coach of New Mexico, correct? Rick Pitino's son's the head coach of New Mexico? Is that right? He is? Okay. I'm going him. He feels like he's having a moment. Rick Pitino. Michigan State, Bryant, Michigan State. I'm not fucking around with any upsets. Duke all the way, potentially. Baylor or Mississippi State. Put some respect on the Big 12 immediately. Baylor. Oregon versus Liberty. Oregon. Liberty. Who the hell are they? Arizona versus Akron. Who's the guy? Who's the guard on Who's the guard on Arizona? Jordan Love? That's not his name. Caleb Love, right? Caleb Love. I remember, and is my memory failing me? Didn't he have a very disappointing tournament last year? Is my memory failing me? He feels like one of those guards where you watch him play and he has like a... He has like a disaster 3 of 16 game, you know? Those guards are prevalent in NCAA March Madness tournament. BYU versus VCU. This is a tough one for my VCU team. I believe in them. Why do I believe in them? I watched one of their conference tournament games because it was on in the morning and I had nothing else to watch. So I watched it and I just thought, my God, this team looks so fucking annoying that it just screams. It just screams a team that goes deep in March. They guard full court. They double team. They put an absurd amount of pressure on the ball. And they rebound at an absurd rate. Which makes me think that feels to me like a team that makes a sneaky deep run. But from what I understand, BYU is great offensively. Which scares me. This feels like a clash of styles to the max. And I do know, but VCU's guard play looked good to me. I'm going to go with VCU. Wisconsin, Montana. Wisconsin. St. Mary's versus Vanderbilt. I feel like fading the SEC a little bit. Alabama. Like the middle of the pack SEC teams. Bro hasn't watched college ball all year. No, I haven't. That's what I said at the top. I haven't watched any of it. Florida, UConn or Oklahoma. Again, I'm betting against the SEC, the middle of the pack SEC teams. There's no fucking way they have this many teams that are good. None. Colorado State is beating Memphis. I'll take your word for it. Colorado State on to the next round. Maryland versus Grand Canyon. I know I saw a lot of people think Maryland's going to go deep. I'll pick them. Missouri or Drake. Has Drake ever won a game? Feels like it's just been a bad year for Drake in general. So we'll go Missouri. Texas, I mean, do we even need to mention it? Texas Tech. Kansas or Arkansas. Kansas. I have some Arkansas friends in my life. They haven't seemed too impressed with their team. So we'll go Kansas. St. John's. It feels like this is very chalky. Houston, Gonzaga or Georgia. Just closing my eyes. I can't imagine Georgia beating Gonzaga. I cannot imagine it. Just trying to close my eyes. And Georgia beats Gonzaga. It's not there. Gonzaga. Clemson, McNeese. I feel like we do this all the time with McNeese too, don't we? Like, don't we do this all the time with McNeese? I gotta go Clemson. Purdue versus High Point. Just can't get the taste of Purdue losing in the first round as a 1 seed out of my mouth. I know that that's a completely different team. Zach Edey's not there. Fuck it. We'll go High Point. I don't know. I'll go Illinois, Kentucky. I know people like Utah State. I'll pick them in Tennessee. I don't think there's going to be too many. From what I understand, the top end teams are insane this year. Second round. Auburn, Louisville. We'll go Auburn. And we'll go Michigan. And this is setting up a Michigan potential run to the Elite Eight. We'll go Iowa State. And we'll go Michigan State. We're going to go chalky, folks. Sometimes you got to go chalky if you want to win. Sure, we'll go. Let's go Akron. Let's go Akron. Make it a run. There's your team, Akron. What do they do well? I have no idea. Utah State's not winning. Utah State. I'm putting Utah State in my Sweet 16 just because you said that. I never felt more confident. VCU making a Sweet 16 run. Why? Because they're one of the only teams I watch play in tournament play, in conference tournament play. St. Mary's or Alabama. I know Alabama's offense is insane, right? But they can be a little streaky, huh? It's a little scary. Mountain West is booty butt cheeks in the tournament. Is VCU in the Mountain West? Oh, Utah State's in the Mountain West, huh? I'm not actually going to pick them. Florida versus UConn. I know Florida's a fucking dog. Let's go Florida. I know Maryland's some dogs. Come on, baby. You see what this says right here? Texas Tech Final Four. History repeats itself. Let's go Texas Tech versus St. John's. That's fun. That's fun to me. Two great defensive teams. What's Kentucky's story this year? What are both these schools' story? Illinois and Kentucky. What's their story? Injured? Oh, who's injured? Oh, Kentucky's really injured, aren't they? All right, I'll go Illinois then. Clemson or High Point? What's Clemson's story? Feels like a good basketball story, huh? Clemson's like really starting to get there basketball-wise. We'll go Houston and beat Gonzaga. That feels like kind of a crazy team to play in round 2 if you're a 1 seed. Clemson makes a deep run. All right, I'll believe you. All right, it's pretty chalky, but we have our Sweet 16. Auburn, Michigan. Is this where Auburn goes down? Give me the rub on Michigan. I've heard a lot of people like this Michigan team quite a bit. And Auburn has the scary loss 3 of the last 4, but they are the overall number 1 seed. Iowa State takes them down in Elite 8. Do we think in Michigan, Iowa State Elite 8 matchup is possible? Michigan has 2 good big men. Ooh, I like that. When you got a couple good big men, like rock solid big men, I like that quite a bit. What's their guard play looking like? Because that's also really important. And also, I heard someone say Auburn has the best player in college basketball potentially. Losing 3 of your last 4, though, man, I got to be real with you. That makes me a little hesitant. Broom is great. Auburn is a perennial tournament choker. All right, cool. Let's go Michigan, Iowa State. Boom, Iowa State. Welcome to the Final Four. All right, let's just be honest. Duke, fuck it. We'll put VCU in the Elite 8. Duke, welcome to the Final Four. We want to see Cooper Flag there. Let's just be honest. Florida, Texas Tech in the Elite 8. Welcome to the Final Four, Texas Tech. And this isn't, and by the way, this is just my, that's actually my opinion and belief. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Texas Tech alumnus. That's actually my opinion and belief. Houston, let's go Houston versus Tennessee. Houston Final Four. So here's our Final Four. We got to have some 1 seeds. Iowa State, Texas Tech, Duke, Houston. Houston, Texas Tech. Luka proved he's a generational talent. You're in denial. What are you guys talking about in here? I am an SEC hater. Absolutely. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go. Texas Tech, way to the Natty this year, baby. How many total points did we score in the championship game? 2 great defenses. Let's go 112. There it is, baby. And by the way, this isn't me being biased at all. Like, this is just actual real statistical analysis that led to this. It's just kind of what I think. I close my eyes, and the Red Raiders have won the national championship. Taz Samora. Taz Samora. right? There's some vibes there. Iowa State in the Final Four doesn't feel right. I just look at it and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit right. That's fine though. Well, hey, I'm gonna do some research and then we'll wouldn't bet the house on that one. I'm betting the house on it. I'm betting the house. Enter the Coors Light March Madness hoops for a chance to win $30,000. Sure. This is my bracket. This is March. If you're listening to this on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. I love you. Tech all the way, baby. Yeah, I know that they're injured, but from what I've heard, they're expected to be back, right? They don't have any like injuries that'll go too deep into like the tournament, correct? And again, I could be wrong. All right, folks. That's going to do it for me. This was a fun stream today. I can't believe we went this long only talking about the Mavs. Isn't that insane? How much there's to talk about this team. So I just remember the name Nick Clifford. That's who the Mavs will draft. All right, I'll remember it. I think it's looking good, but haven't checked since the other night. Man alive. All right, I'll be live Wednesday morning here. Live Wednesday morning for some slightly early. Poor Dallas sports fans. It's tough, man. I mean, we're fortunate enough to have just experienced a championship with the Texas Rangers, to have gone to the finals with the Mavericks. I mean, we have it a little bit better than some other places, but it's still not great. All right, thank you all for coming out, all of the OGs. You guys know I love you very much. Could have spent your Monday morning anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, thank you guys so much. You never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously. It makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you all Wednesday morning. Love you all. Talk to you all later. Bye.